from the beginning. We'll refer the book, okay? And whoever thinks I'm too fast, please tell me to slow down. And don't worry, we'll repeat the terms again and again. So don't be nervous, okay? Just stay calm and just try to follow, okay? Alright. So the first thing, let's begin. Just take a moment and just think, where are we sitting at this moment? Where are we sitting at this moment? Kuntu jaga kami bohi asu, thiyo hoi asu. Classroom. Classroom to code ase. Where is this classroom located? Just you may close your eyes just to visualize. I'm trying to give you a scale perception, okay? Because we are trying to go to the universe. Because it's not an easy thing to imagine, no? It's a huge thing. So we'll just begin from where we are now, okay? We'll look at it from a different perspective. We're sitting in the classroom. The classroom is located in Barwari. Where is Barwari located? Guwahati. Guwahati is a city. It is located in Kamrup Metro. Okay. Then where is Kamrup Metro? Assam. Lower Assam. Assam. If we go up from Assam, where do we go? Northeast India. From Northeast India, we go a little higher. What do we see?
India.
India. Very good. From India, we go a little higher. What do we see?
Asia.
South Asia. Asia. A little higher. World. Okay. In the world, what do we see? From the bird's eye, for example, you're flying and you see the whole world. Now that you see the whole world, what do we see? From the space.
The entire system, the solar system.
We see that we are Asia whole. Asia per we see the continents distribution. Okay, so we are somewhere in space now. No, we are above the Earth. Okay, so now what do we see around us?
Space, dark objects.
Other planets. Very good. We see other planets, we see the sun, we see the moon, okay? We see moons of other planets, okay? Okay. So that means we are in the solar system, okay? Now we move a little higher away from the solar system, our solar system, and then we reach into our Milky Way galaxy, no? And then little away from the Milky Way galaxy, other galaxies. So can you see how we are just a minuscule part of the whole universe? Those who have just come, you repeat course. We are just starting over again from the beginning because some of you were absent first two classes and we didn't have this smart book thing. So, and some of you also felt that I went too fast. Okay, so don't worry about it. We'll repeat the terms. Even if you haven't done or you haven't been in touch with geography for a long time, don't worry about it. We'll repeat the terms of it and you'll get familiarized with it. Okay, and also please go through the NCERT from the basic if you are not very confident. That will also help you brush up. Okay, all right. So now we get a whole picture of the universe. No, that it has billions of galaxies and billions of stars. Okay, so now we have, so that means the universe is the whole point of existence, isn't it? Okay, now we come to how did the universe originate? So you all know that through the Big Bang theory. Okay, so Big Bang theory started from this point of
singularity.
Very good, singularity. What is the Big Bang theory start with the point of? Everyone? Singularity, okay? So, and there was a huge explosion and then gases and clouds and dust, everything formed, and there was the creation of the universe. Okay. How old is this?
14 billion.
14 billion years old. Okay. Okay. Let's refer. There is okay. So we have this term called redshift. Okay. So there is a theory that the universe
Expanding.
is expanding. Okay. And so there are these astronomers and the contributions. Can you see on your first page? Contribution. So here there are two terms called geocentric and heliocentric. Duta term ase, geocentric and heliocentric. So agor dinot what happened? There was a theory that the earth is the center of the whole universe. ঠিক আছে? তোমাকে জানা? হেতু কি কয়? What is that theory called as? Where the earth is the center of whole universe? Geocentric. Then a few years later there was another thinker, astronomer who found out that no, earth is not the center but the sun is the center. What is that theory called as? Heliocentric. Because just remember, get familiar with these two terms. Then we have this evidence that the universe is continuously shrinking, expanding. Very good. So, আমি কেনেকে গম পাওঁ যে expand হৈ আছে? How do we know?
Redshift, Doppler's effect.
Doppler's effect. So there eta technique hoy. There is a technique. Iman scientifically jabo na lage, but just remember that it is called redshift phenomenon. ঠিক আছে? Through Doppler effect. তাই আমি গম পাওঁ that it is the evidence of an expanding universe. ঠিক আছে? Okay, let's go to one question. Etu UPSC ahise. This one, can you see? Which of the following are cited as evidences for continued expansion of universe? Imatra, what did we study just now? That universe is expanding, okay, and it is detected through this redshift phenomenon. Okay. So iman kita options, these are the detection in microwaves. So there is another term which is called cosmic microwave background radiation. Okay, this is said to be the oldest light in the universe. When the universe started, what is the speed of light? Background radiation.
3 kilometers per second.
So, ami sobai janu, we all know that light travels the fastest. Does light travel faster or does sound travel faster? Light travels faster, no? So, যেতিয়া Big Bang create হৈছিলে তেতিয়া তাৰে লাইটটো আমি এতিয়া পাই আছো, এতিয়া লাহে লাহে আহি আছে। তাৰমানে we can assume that কিমান দূৰত আছে ইউনিভাৰ্সৰ লাইট এতিয়াও আহি আছে। So that is cosmic background jitu radiation hoy hetu etiahe ami paisu earth hoy, no? So that means it takes a long time and the universe is still expanding. Okay? Okay, there are some terms now. Do you remember we did this term called nebula? Nebula kaba monot ase ne? Ki korisilu ami nebula we did it in the while studying the beginning of the solar system. Nebula is Hot,
Gaseous.
gaseous
Cloud.
cloud.
Space.
Yes, yes. So you know the concept, nebula. Okay. Star. What is a star? Star is a
Luminous body.
luminous body which has its own light. What is a natural satellite? Moon, but it does not have its own light. Satellites revolve around the planets and they reflect the light. ঠিক আছে? Okay. ইয়াতে কেইটামান terms আছে. Life cycle, red giant, super red giant. Come to this page, where there is the life cycle of a star. Do you see there is a nebula, and nebula can divide into two parts. This average star and then a massive star. ঠিক আছে? So just familiarize yourself with these terms. ইয়াতে important হ'ব supernova explosion. ঠিক আছে? Supernova কি হয়? Supernova is the explosive death of a star which has extreme amounts of energy. ঠিক আছে? Okay. Black hole সবে জানা? Great gravitational pull আছে. Then galaxy jana, huge billions of stars আছে. Milky Way jana is our galaxy. Another galaxy which is closest to our galaxy ki hai? Andromeda. This can be a question in the prelims. ठीक है? Which is the nearest galaxy to our solar system? Then, natural satellites or moons. This is important. याते की होय natural satellite की होय? What is it? That orbits around a planet. ठीक है? Okay. So what is light year?
Distance by light in 1 minute.
Distance traveled by light in 1 year. What is the measurement? What is the unit? What is the speed of 1 light year?
8.31
9.4 into 10 to the power 12. Okay. What is the speed of light?
trillion kilometer per second.
Very good. Okay. Let's come to solar system. So we did the solar system. If we recall what we have covered that they are divided into the inner planets or terrestrial planets and outer planets or Jovian planets. Okay. Inner planets consist of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. It is then separated by
Asteroids.
which belt?
Asteroids.
Which belt?
Asteroids.
Asteroid belt. Okay. What are the asteroid belts? What is it composed of?
Asteroids.
Also nice particle.
What are asteroids?
Rocky materials which are isotopes.
Very good. So, can you name one asteroid?
Cirrus.
Cirrus, which is the largest asteroid. Okay. Now, is it comfortable, or are you finding it very textual, or is it? Are you comfortable with this space, or should I take some other approach? ठीक है आसने? Is it? Are you finding it easy to relate to the text? Okay. So we'll do one thing. I mean, we'll go through this text and then we'll revise again. Okay. Then you don't have to refer. Look into the book and let's see how this works. if it's not convenient, then we'll do some other method. Okay. 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 Do you remember the 3 layers of the sun? Sun or the 3 layers of the sun. Kiki hoy?
Photosphere,
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 chromosphere,
atmosphere, and
and
corona.
corona. Okay. Which has the highest temperature?
Corona.
Corona. In the sun, okay, we know that there are different reactions which goes on. Key reactions hoy. Just tell me key nuclear reactions hoy generally.
Hydrogen turns into helium.
Aru kunbai koba? What kind of reactions do we see usually in nuclear?
Fusion.
It's called fission and fusion. Fission or ki hoy?
Separate.
There are two types of nuclear reactions. ठीक है? Fission and
Fusion.
fusion. Sun or ki reaction hoy?
Fusion.
Sun. Sun has nuclear fusion reaction. ठीक है? Fission और की होय? Atom is broken into 2. ठीक है? And then it goes on in a chain reaction. But in fusion, 2 atoms combine to form 1 atom and it releases huge amount of energy. ठीक है? Because sun releases huge amounts of energy because of fusion reaction. Just remember this word fusion is related to sun. Okay, fusion, nuclear energy. So here, यानी कि how continuously hydrogen converts into helium. Okay. Just underline that word, fusion reaction. Okay. Then we have this term called sunspots. Sunspots. Lisa? Sunspots. Which are cooler areas. Sunspots are sun iman bright hoy. It's so bright that it is difficult to imagine that there will be dark spots in the sun, no? But there are dark spots which are little cooler than the surrounding areas. It's called sunspots. So you might have heard of a term called sunspot cycle, which is also related to the Earth's. It also affects the Earth's temperature, okay, patterns. Okay. Next we have. Let's go through the planets very briefly. So Mercury is the smallest and nearest planet. Then don't have to remember all these, but just we are going through it, okay? Then Venus is known as Earth's twin. It is also known as morning or evening star. Just remember and just underline this word, morning or evening star, okay? Venus. And it is the hottest planet, okay? So then we come to Earth. It is the 5th largest planet. It is also known as blue planet. It is the densest planet and it has distance to Janae an average temperature of how much? 14 degrees centigrade. And Earth is located in the which zone? Which zone? Very good. Earth is located in which zone? In which zone? Goldilocks. What does Goldilocks zone mean?
Life is possible.
Life is possible.
Life is possible. Water is it?
Found in liquid state.
Water is found in liquid state and therefore makes life possible. Okay? Okay. And also the distance is in perfect. It is in perfect distance with the sun. Neither too far nor too close. ठीक है? Then we have Earth's natural satellite, which is called the moon. 27 days. So we see that the rotation is equal to revolution of the moon. ठीक है? And the moon revolves around the earth. So we see one side of the moon every time. ठीक है? So this is a term called tidal locking, where the orbital period matches, revolution matches its rotation. Now there is this term called orbit. जो है एकदम basic और when we start geography, earth, sun, we have this term called orbit. It's class 6 on the portal. So orbit, what is the meaning of this word orbit?
Elliptical path.
Path. So it might be elliptical, it might not be elliptical, but orbit chewing gum nahote orbit is the path. So it to elliptical, but some might be circular orbits also. Right? So just remember, orbit is the path of a planet or a satellite. ठीक है? What is the shape of the Earth's orbit? Circular? Elliptical. Very good. Elliptical माने कि? What does this term elliptical mean? It is somewhere like an edge shape, bulging shape, no? Just remember this. And this is what shape? Circular shape. Okay. So the Earth rotates from east to west or west to east? The Earth rotates from west to east. Okay? Alright. Next we come to Mars. Also known as the red planet. Okay? Just remember that. Then we have between Mars and Jupiter we have the asteroid belt. Okay? And then we have here Ceres. Ceres is the largest asteroid. Then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet of the solar system. Okay? How many moons does it have?
79.
Okay, very good. So can you name some of the moons, large moons of Jupiter? Europa, Ganymede, Callisto, Io. Very good. So there was a question on this. If you remember, we have done it in the first class. No? It was a very factual question. But if we are familiar, we can just tick it. Okay. Okay. Next, Saturn. It is second largest planet. It has 82 satellites. Okay. Then we have Uranus. Then we have Neptune. It is the farthest planet from the sun. And then we have the Kuiper belt. Do you remember what is it? Kuiper belt. It is inside of the solar system or outside?
Outside.
What does Kuiper belt consist of?
Comments.
It consists of, it is home to dwarf planets. Just underline this, dwarf planets. Name some of the dwarf planets. Pluto, Haumea and Make. Okay. So there might be a question that which of the following are dwarf planets. Okay. So if we are familiar with the names, then we can easily identify. So again, can we repeat the names? 3 dwarf planets. Pluto, Haumea, Make. Very good. Okay, next. Just come to this part. Hottest planet, Venus. Coldest planet, densest planet, least dense planet, planet with most moons, Largest asteroid? Dwarf planet? Okay. So there was a question from this, the largest moon in the solar system, isn't it? Next we come to Pluto. It was identified as a planet, but then it was removed from that status. Then we have comet. Do you remember we studied that comets are structured with tails? They fly close to the sun and they burn. They have icy tail which burns and which illuminates. Okay. So comets, icy body, when passing close to the sun and begins to outgas, displaying visible atmosphere, sometimes a tail. Okay. So can you give an example of a comet? Halley's comet. So comets may appear periodically or it may appear randomly. So periodical comet is Halley's comet. What is the time period?
76 years.
After 76 years. Okay.
Ma'am, can you explain it with your diagram?
Comet. Okay. So suppose this is the sun and these are various orbits. Okay. So comets, they are random, mostly found outside of the in the Kuiper belt. Okay, but not necessarily. So when they come close to the sun, they have these a head. It is like a head, and then it burns. Okay, this part burns and this part illuminates. Okay, so it looks like a tail. So comet is a structure with a tail. So আমি হিন্দি মুভিজত দেখো ন, there is a টুটা তারা বুলি যে কয়, there is a tail with a curve, that is a comet. ঠিক আছে? Shooting star is a meteor. ঠিক আছে? Even easy নহয় to distinguish with the naked eye, no? But basically this is the common difference. ঠিক আছে? Next we have meteor to আমি পঢ়িছোৱে পানী খাবা নেকি okay then we have meteors are another bodies which they burn and when they enter the earth's atmosphere they illuminate and they are known as meteor showers, okay, or meteorites. Okay. Alright. Now we come to, this was the universe. Now we come to a little closer, smaller scale, which is the solar system. Because solar system, there are few theories. So we'll just go through one, which is called the nebular hypothesis. Because nebula word to amar by this time is everyone familiar with the term nebula? Okay, so now we have this theory of origin of solar system no keneke ahile. How does this sun to eta thai baki other planets are revolving around the sun? How did this pattern evolve? How did this pattern emerge? Enekwa kyo hol? So there are various theories as to the origin and the structure of the solar system. So one of the very important theories is nebular hypothesis. So it was given by Immanuel Kant. So the basic concept is that the planets were formed out of this hugely revolving, rotating cloud of gas, and that's called a nebula. So when this nebula gradually contracted, dust and gas and then started densing out. And they started contracting and shrinking. When they started that, then it started to cool. And shelling out rings of gases and dust. This was the nebula, and they shelling out rings of gases and dust. And then this rings cooled and accumulated to form planets. ठीक है? So just remember this. Other theories, it's not important from prelims or mains perspective. ठीक है? But just to give you an idea. Okay, then we'll move ahead. Eto period to iman important নহয়, huh? These plan rotation, revolution, kiman din hoy, it's not important. Then we come to the Earth. Earth is the what is the number in terms of size? Fifth largest. ठीक है? It has how much land to water ratio? किमान land is to water ratio किमान होय? 70%. Very good. Is it dense or less dense? It is the densest. ठीक है? Okay. What is the perihelion? What does it mean? The term closest to sun. What does the term aphelion mean? Aphelion, farthest from the sun. That's it. What is the shape of the earth? Geoid. What is the shape of the earth?
Geoid.
Paisa, beside. আমি যে হেডাখন first class of the কৰিছিলো, for example, this is the sun and this is the elliptical orbit. Actually, after in the circular দেখাইছে ন, it is little elliptical ন, আৰু elliptical হলেও পুৰা centerat নহয়, অলপমান ইফালে ইমান difference নহয়, but এটা দেখিছানে, it's little longer, এটা অলপ little shorter. ঠিক আছে? So যিটো longer distance হয় নহয়, হেতু হয় কি হয়? What is it? Perihelion. The farthest distance is aphelion. So এটু কয় aphelion. ঠিক আছে? It's just a distance. Just hey distance তোৰ নাম দিছে. ঠিক আছে? আৰু this is called perihelion. ঠিক আছে? Okay. And then we have the ratio of land is to water is 3:7. 3 parts of land and 7 parts of water. So it is also known as a blue planet. So northern hemisphere has more water or southern hemisphere has more water? Southern hemisphere has more water. Okay. Next we have the speed of rotation around the axis is 1600 km at the equator but decreases poleward. Why? Because of the geoid shape. The geoid shape is what?
Flattened at the poles, bulging out at the equator.
Bulging out at the equator. What is the shape of the earth known as? Geoid. Geoid, what does it mean? Flattening at the poles, bulging at the equator. So equator rotation speed to basi hobo, because it has to cover a long distance. So next we come to motions of the earth. Why is the motion of the earth important to study? What are the motions of the earth? Rotation and revolution. So why is it important? Why are we studying all this? What is the relation between civil service? We are studying for civil services and we are doing some random does it seem like we're doing, what are we studying? What is the universe? What does it have? What connection does it have with our practical everyday what we are going to do in administration, practical work? Does it seem like that to you? Little bit? Yes, it does, isn't it? But also, if you think that it's not at all random, no, there is definitely some reason that we are studying, the universe, the solar system, the Earth's interior, Earth's atmosphere. All these we are studying. So it's not at all random. So why do we think we are studying this? What is your? Can you think of anything? Because it has to give us some reason, isn't it? We can't be just so disconnected. Because it usually happened with us when we studied history, or we used to remember dates. This date, this king died, this date, this king conquered, this date, so many things in history also. Then we feel that what is the relation? Yet we don't have, practically to ekunai. But still, why are we studying this?
It affects our day-to-day life.
How?
Rotation, it will determine the day, duration of the day.
Rotation and revolution is the ultimate reason for time going ahead.
So
Time
you
is
can
responsible
plan
for
it.
rotation and revolution.
Very good. Anything else?
Theories in future change so we have to know the past means in order to determine the future. So আমি একটু কথা জানিব লাগিব সবে তাকে মানে কিবা যদি ইনফেক্ট চেঞ্জ হয় এতিয়া এটা যাতে আমি ৰিলেট কৰিব পাৰোঁ.
Very good. So, what I can think of, that we are studying to be a civil servant. Okay, that means we have to deal in a lot of ground issues. Okay, field work, groundwork, policy making also. Okay, we have to give our inputs, and for that we have to have a wide variety of knowledge. Very good. And knowledge is not just something in one field, or it's just confined in one stream. It can be lateral or multiple. So it doesn't mean that we are studying geography will not do, it is parallel. We are studying something, but we are studying geography, but it's going on in the past, no? This is kind of historical geography, kind of. There is history also involved, isn't it? So it's just to make us a more aware person, so that we can apply it in different situations whenever the situation arises. Okay, so just be a little patient. It might seem very disconnected to you at this moment for some people. Some of us may not feel that interested, but just give yourself time, and we'll go through it so that we get familiar with the terms. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, let's come back to rotation. So, what is rotation? Movement of Earth around its own axis. What is the time period? 24 hours. 23 hours actually. Some 56 minutes. Yes. Then, what is the tilt of the Earth's axis?
3.5.
So this angle is, so it should be straight, isn't it? This is the plane line, but the Earth is tilted at this angle. This is known as the angle of tilt, 23.5 degrees. Okay. So what is the effect of rotation? Day and night, Coriolis force, and seasons also because of the tilt. Now, do you remember Coriolis force? Okay, tell me. We did it yesterday. Those who are familiar, just try. Coriolis force. What does it mean? That there is a change in the direction because of the Earth's rotation, in which the winds move towards the right in the northern hemisphere and left in the southern hemisphere. Do you remember we did something like this yesterday? What is it called?
Northeast straight
Straight
winds.
winds.
Northeast trade winds. This is
Southeast trade winds.
where do they merge?
Doldrums. ITCZ.
This is called ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone, or the doldrums is between.
5 degrees north or so.
Very good. Around the. It is also known as. Doldrums are also known as equatorial high pressure zone.
Low pressure.
Equatorial low pressure zone. Okay, very good. Okay, so some of you remember whatever we did yesterday, but okay. So in rotation done, revolution. Okay, speed of rotation decreases from the equator towards the poles. Why? Why does the speed of rotation decrease? We just did it some few minutes back. That because of
Because of the
geoid shape. Okay, so it is bulging at the poles. Bulging at the poles. Bulging at the equator and flattening at the poles. Okay, so because of that, the speed of rotation decreases from equator towards the poles. Okay, let's come to revolution. What is revolution? Movement of
Around the sun.
Earth around the sun. What is the time period? 6 hours. Okay. Then, what is the date of perihelion for Earth?
3rd June.
3rd Jan. And what is the farthest point? Date? 4 July. This is not important. This is important. Seasons are the result of inclination of the Earth's rotational axis. Okay. Okay. Now come to these terms. Equinox. What does the term equinox mean? Equal days, equal nights. Very good. So, what are the two types of equinoxes? Vernal or spring, which is on 21st of March, and autumn or autumn equinox, 23rd September. Now, if I draw a diagram, will you be able to, let's see if you will be able to identify, okay? Let's say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Okay, now tell me which are the points, which is the point of spring equinox?
A or C. A or C.
A or C. Okay, let's make it here, okay? Spring equinox. Okay. Next, which is the point of autumn equinox?
C.
C. Okay. Why do you think these two are the points and not these two?
Because it is in the northern south.
This is the north hemisphere. This is the southern hemisphere. Okay. Why do you think these two are the points and not these two?
Because the sun is shining directly in the here in the northern and there in the southern.
So here it is directly in the equator. It is falling on the equator. Okay. When let's come to the term called solstice. What does it mean? Directly above the tropics. So in solstice, the sun is directly above the tropics. Okay. What are the two tropics?
Cancer, Capricorn.
Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. So, which is the date of summer solstice?
21st June.
21st June. So, which should it be? B or D?
B.
D. D for
Summer solstice.
here.
Yes.
Summer solstice. So, this is 21st June. And winter solstice for northern hemisphere is here. What is the date for winter solstice?
22nd December.
22nd December.
Same thing, 21st June.
Winter for northern hemisphere. So it is
21st June only.
22nd December. Okay?
On northern hemisphere.
Yes. Okay, then we have, this is important, that areas in the north of Arctic Circle see 24 hours of sunlight, while areas south of Antarctic Circle experience 24 hours of night. Okay, this happens because of the tilt in Earth's rotation. Okay. Okay, let me explain this. Why is it 24 hours? Can anyone tell me why do you think that 24 hours? 24 ঘন্টা sunlight 24 ঘন্টা ৰাতি কেনেকৈ হ'ব পাৰে পোলছত ক'ব পাৰিবা কোনবাই?
যেতিয়া মানে যেতিয়া সামাৰত কি হয় সামাৰত যেতিয়া কি হৈ থাকে নৰ্থ হেমিস্ফিয়াৰটো সানৰ ফালে ডাইৰেক্টলি হেৰি থাকে তো তেতিয়া লাইটটো ডিৰেক্টলি পৰে তেতিয়া কোনো চান্স নাই যেতিয়া ৰ'টেট হয় চান্স নাথাকে যে তাত মানে লাইটটো নপৰিব এনেতে পৰিয়ে থাকিব তো সেইকাৰণে তাত 24 ঘণ্টা দিন হয়
Yeah, I would like to show you a video. Please continue. That's a call next to.
তাৰপিছত মেম যেতিয়া উইণ্টাৰ হ'ব উইণ্টাৰত মানে কি হ'ব যিটো মানে উইণ্টাৰ যেতিয়া এনেকৈ ৰিভলিউশ্যন হোৱাৰ ফলত নৰ্দাৰ্ণ হেমিস্ফিয়াৰটো উল্টা চাইডত যাব মানে তেতিয়া সাউদাৰ্ণ হেমিস্ফিয়াৰত ডাইৰেক্টলি লাইট পৰিব আৰু নৰ্দাৰ্ণ হেমিস্ফিয়াৰত লাইটটো 24 আৱাৰ্ছৰ কাৰণে নপৰিব
Exactly.
24 আৱাৰ্ছ থাকিব
Okay, I'll show you a small video for those who june buji poa nai ha. I don't know kiman dekha paba but
This presentation is there is a 24-hour day or night at the poles. I would
the
invite
brightness
students to
to
look at our
basically.
globe here, specifically at the North Pole. And as I rotate the globe, I'm going to ask them
Can you see?
to tell me when they see the sunlight shining on the North Pole. The students would observe that the sunlight does not hit the North Pole at this time of the year, and that it stays dark all day and all night. The sun does not rise at the North Pole
So
during
the
the
sun is facing the.
If I move so that we have summer in the northern hemisphere, and then ask the students to observe again.
So where is the sun now? Above the, in the northern hemisphere, no? Because we see the sunlight is towards this side, left side, okay?
And
Yes.
what's happening at the North Pole.
See,
They
it's
would observe
continuous
the
sunlight.
sun
Can
never
you see?
sets at this time of the year in the North Pole, and that they have
So where is the southern pole? South pole is that side. And the sun is facing here. But because of the earth's tilt, no, we have a tilted axis. Therefore,
sunlight
only north pole is
all day
facing
and
the
all night.
sun.
If we look at this chart,
Can
it
you see?
demonstrates the same thing we were just looking at with the globe. If we look over here, this is winter in the northern hemisphere, and the North Pole does not have sun
why was it shown in the video that the movement is from here and not in this direction? Very good. Because the earth, it is from west to east. Okay, very good. And did you understand why is it 24 hours of sunlight in the North Pole and South Pole? Because of this tilt, okay? Because here, see, sun's rays are falling here in the southern hemisphere. Therefore, the south part will receive continuous sunlight, okay, at an angle. And here, the northern pole will receive continuous sunlight. Here, the south pole is away from the sun. Okay. All right. Next, let's move ahead. Latitudes and longitudes. So you're all familiar. We'll just brush up. What is latitude?
Horizontal parallel lines.
Parallel lines. How are they measured? What is the origin? Measure kora hoy latitude? From the center of the earth. For example, this is the earth, okay, this is the equator here. So for example, earth has a point, a center of the earth. Now this is the equator. That's a midpoint, which divides the earth into two equal halves, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So from the equator, we measure these degrees. So if this is 1 degree, then this whole line along this 1 degree is called the 1 degree latitude. Then from this point again, we draw another angle, which is for example 2 degree north. Then this whole line, points joining these places, will form in this, fall in this 2 degree north latitude. So this is how latitudes are drawn, measured. They are imaginary lines, okay? So it is the angular distance from the earth's surface, measured in degrees, from the center of the earth. So 1 degree is 60 minutes is equal to 3600 seconds. Okay. So which is the largest circle? We have 5 great circles. We are already familiar by now. Largest circle is the equator, which divides the earth into two halves. What are they? Northern and southern hemisphere. Okay. Then we already know the 5 latitudes. Then we come to longitude. They are drawn from pole to pole. Okay, North Pole to South Pole. Okay, this is also measured from the prime meridian. Yeah, it is an angular distance measured in degrees along the equator, east or west of the equator. I mean, the way we measure the latitude, for example, latitude we measured up or down. Okay, here we did east to west, east or west. Okay, and then we join these places. Okay, when all points with same longitude are joined, we get imaginary semicircles of longitude, or called as meridians of longitude. Okay, so how many longitudes are there? 360 degrees. So longitudes are very important for measurement of time. Okay, just write longitude is equal to time, because this will be very important. Which are the 2 most important longitudes in the world?
Prime meridian and international dateline.
Prime meridian is
0 degree.
180 degree.
0 degree.
0 degree. And international dateline is
180 degree.
180 degree. Very good. So if we move from east to west from the international dateline, we lose a day. This is west to east, and this is, so when we move from west to east, we lose a day.
Gain.
or gain a day? West to east.
Lose it.
Lose.
And when we move from east to west,
Gain.
gain a day. Just remember these 2 points, okay? Alright, then we have longitudes and times. Since we have 360 degree of rotation, we have is equal to 24 hours. We have 1 degree of longitude corresponds to 4 minutes of time. And we 15 degrees eastward we have 1 hour. Okay, not very important. Which is the Indian Standard Time longitude?
82.5.
82.5 degree
East.
west. Eastern longitude. Okay, very good. Next we have a term called eclipse. So eclipse is basically when there are these sun, earth, no other planets, they cast their shadows one upon another when they pass through. Okay, so lunar eclipse paisu, solar eclipse paisu, no? So solar eclipse to ketia hoy, when does it happen? Solar eclipse when the sun
Comes in between. Sun and Earth.
moon comes between sun and earth. Okay. There is a term called syzygy. Okay. When 3 celestial bodies are in a straight line, just underline this term. It's just that this alignment is known as syzygy. Sun, moon, earth are in straight line. Okay. Next, then the solar eclipse when sun, moon casts a shadow over the sun. So there is partial, annular and total. Similarly, lunar eclipse also there is when the
Sun comes between.
sun or earth. When the moon passes through earth's shadow. Okay. So just remember that eclipse means we cannot see that object. So solar eclipse means we cannot see the sun. Lunar eclipse means we cannot see the moon. Okay, just remember that. Okay, I think this is all about the universe. Would you like to revise again, or should we move ahead with the geomorphology part and then revise it tomorrow? Revise it again. Let's do it. Now please close your books. We'll just try to visualize, okay, whatever we have done. Just sit comfortably, take a moment or two, just settle down. We're trying to revise whatever we've gone through in the past hour. Okay, so we began with the universe, isn't it? What does universe also known as? Cosmos. What is the study of universe known as? What is it known as? Astrology. Astrology? Astronomy. Very good. What is the theory attributed to the origin of universe?
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Very good. Well, what does it originate from? Point of singularity. Very good. Then we have the geocentric and heliocentric view. Geocentric view means very good. Heliocentric means, so which view do we subscribe to nowadays? Geocentric. Heliocentric. That means sun is the center of the universe. Okay.
Solar system.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, solar system. Thank you. Yes. Then we have the evidence that of the Big Bang Theory. What is the evidence? What do we measure it with? Doppler effect. Okay. So let's redshift phenomena, what does it say? That the universe is expanding, moving away, and therefore we are getting the red light. Do you know the origin of the red? Why is it that? Why red light, why not blue light? Because of this concept, yes. With your, so this is red, no? This is violet. So red has longer wavelength. And blue, this side has shorter wavelength. Okay. So, যেতিয়া আমি পাও that red ole shift hoye ase, there is a light which is shifting to the red domain. We say that it has longer wavelength because it is shifting. Aru hekarne we see the traffic lights of no. Why is the red color used for stop? So that bahut duror price visible from very far, no? That it's very catchy. So that the duror people are aware that okay, now we have to stop. Okay. So that shows red shift phenomena shows that is the evidence of Big Bang theory and the universe is still expanding. Okay. What is the oldest light in the universe called as? Cosmic microwave background radiation. Okay. All right. Next we have the term nebula is a cloud of dust and gases. Okay. Then we have a star. What is it?
Luminous body, lights of its own.
Which luminous body is a body which has a light of its own. Okay. Then we have red giant, which is many times bigger than the sun. Okay, red giant. Then we have white dwarf. Again, small hot star. And then important is supernova, which is a big explosive death of star. Okay. Supernova explosion. Okay. Then we have neutron stars, which have great gravitational pull. Black holes, you know that. Galaxy, Milky Way, which is the galaxy closest to our galaxy, Andromeda. Okay. Then what is the planet? Has its own gravity. Here has its own gravity. Okay. Then revolves around the star, which is the sun. Okay, just remember these 2 points. Then we have natural satellites or moons. So what do natural satellites do?
Revolve around the planet.
Revolve around the planet. Do they have a light of their own?
No.
Nijor light thake niki? Moonor junbai nijor light hoy ne? Nai. Kihor light reflect kore, no? Then we have light year. What is it?
Distance
Traveled by light in 1 year. So light is the fastest moving thing, no, particles. So in 1 year to our बहुत fast hobo, no? What is the key hoy? Kiman fast? 9.46 into 10 to the power. Okay. 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 kilometers. Okay. Then we have solar system. Okay. Most of us are familiar. Here, solar system, or what did we cover? Inner, outer. What did we cover? Inner planets. Ki hoy? Outer planets ki hoy? Inner planets also known as terrestrial planets. Outer planets also known as Jovian planets. Okay. They are divided by a belt of asteroids. And beyond the Jovian planets, there is another belt which is known as Kuiper belt. Very good. So we did the sun. How much time does the light from the sun take to reach us?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. Okay. 8 minutes. And what are the three layers of the sun? Photosphere, chromosphere, corona. Okay. Which has the highest temperature? Corona. Okay. Which nuclear reaction does take place in the sun?
Fusion.
Fission?
Fusion.
Fusion. Very good. Fusion reaction refers to splitting or joining of atoms. Joining of two atoms. Okay. Here in this case it's hydrogen to hydrogen atoms combining to form helium. Okay. That leads to massive explosions. Okay. Next we have sunspots, which are polar areas, dark spots in the sun. Okay. Then we have the planets. Mercury, nearest and smallest planet. Venus, which is known as Earth. Twin planet, also known as morning star or evening star. Venus. Okay. Then we have Earth. Fifth largest planet. Blue planet. Ratio land to water 3:7. 3 parts of land, 7 parts of water. Also known as blue planet. Which is the zone it is located in the solar system? Goldilocks zone. What does Goldilocks zone mean? Life is possible because water is found in liquid state, and number 2, it is in the perfect distance, neither too far nor too close. Okay,
Ma'am,
that is
Mercury क्यों hottest planet now है?
Mercury.
It is nearest to the sun. It will be like Venus है.
Because of its composition. Yeah. So, there are many factors, no? Maybe the atmosphere is like that it doesn't take the radiations. Okay. Then we have Earth's satellite, which is called the Moon. How many satellites does Earth have? One. What is the rotation revolution period of Moon? 27 days. What is this term called as with respect to Earth? Tidal locking. Okay, tidal locking is a term which is used to where rotation is equal to
We see one face of that.
one face, where we see only one face of the moon because its rotation is equal to the revolution. Okay. Then we have Mars, which is also known as the blue planet. Green planet. Red planet. Very good. Then we have, after Mars, we have asteroid belt. Which is the largest asteroid? Ceres. Then we have Jupiter, which is the largest planet of the solar system. How many moons does it have? 79. Can you name a few moons? Io, Ganymede, Callisto and Europa. Okay. Then we have Saturn, which has the largest number of moons. How many? 82. Then we have Uranus, and then we have Neptune. Okay. Then we have the Kuiper belt. Can you name few dwarf planets? Haumea and
Sirius.
Makemake. Okay. Next we have comets and meteors. Okay. Alright. Then we have origin of the solar system. What is the theory? An important theory. Nebular hypothesis given by Immanuel Kant. So nebula, it originates from the word nebula. Nebula is a hot, slowly vaporizing cloud of gas and dust, which contracted and formed out rings of gases, and then they cooled to form the planets. Now we come to the Earth. Yes. Shape of the Earth? Geoid. The speed of rotation highest at the lowest at the poles. Very good. Why? Because of geoids Seasons. Revolution causes seasonal changes. Then term equinox equal day and night. Solstice, sun standing between the tropics. Which places have 24 hours of sunlight and night? Arctic and Antarctic Circle. Okay. Why? Because of tilt of the earth. Very good. Next we have latitude. How many latitudes are there? 180. 1. Very good. How many longitudes are there?
360.
Very good. Longitudes and latitudes are used to. Why are they used?
for time.
Position.
Position and time. Very good. Prime meridian, international date line, and then solar and lunar eclipse. Okay. All right. Now let's move ahead to geomorphology. So geomorphology, as the term suggests, what does it mean? Shape of the earth. Okay. So we studied that how old is the earth?
4.5 billion.
4.5 billion years old. Okay. So that means there have been lot of changes in this internal and external structure of the earth. Okay. Now what are the three main layers, spheres of the earth?
Lithosphere.
Kiki hoy?
Lithosphere.
Lithosphere ki hoy? Land, crust. Hydrosphere ki hoy? Water and atmosphere. These three spheres, okay? This combine biosphere where life is possible, okay? Now we have Earth structure. The first, again, we went up to the sky, we went up to the universe. Now we are going underground, okay? So now we are going to study the interior of the Earth. What are the three layers of the Earth? Crust, mantle, core. Okay. So the crust is the outer layer between 30 to 50 kilometers. Okay. Then, so we have two kinds of crust. One is where the continents are built. One is oceans are built. So don't you think that oceans are supporting the underlying the continent? They are heavier. Okay. So that is the term used. Oceanic crust is thinner but heavier. Okay, than the continental crust. And the continental crust is thicker. Okay. Then we have there was a question. That which element is the most abundant in the Earth's crust? There was a question asked. Do you remember? Yes, it is oxygen. So I think there is it is referred here. Okay, let's go to this. Continents are composed of lighter silicates. It is known as Cl. Silica plus aluminium. Just remember Cl. Continents Cl and oceanic crust is Cma, heavier. Cma is heavier. Okay. So what is the discontinuity between the crust and the mantle? Mohorovistic layer, which is also known as the Moho discontinuity. Okay, just remember Moho discontinuity. What is the upper portion of the mantle called as? Asthenosphere. What is the main nature of asthenosphere? It is semi-molten. Okay, and therefore the tectonic plates. What are tectonic plates? Tectonic plates are the plate boundaries which move around. So it moves over the asthenosphere. Okay. Next we come to the mantle. It has the crust and the uppermost part of the mantle are called the lithosphere. Okay. And it has the semi-molten asthenosphere which lies just below the lithosphere. We don't have to do all this Ripeti, Gutenberg discontinuity. Just remember Moho layer. Okay? Then we have core. So the core has heavier materials. So when the Earth solar system was formed, then the Earth was formed along with it. So when the Earth condensed, the materials they distinguished themselves into denser and lighter. The denser materials they shrunk, they formed the core. Dense material ki hoy?
Nickel and iron.
Iron and nickel. So the core is composed of iron and nickel. Just underline this. Core is divided and has heaviest mineral materials of highest density, mainly iron and nickel. So this is the word NIFE, knife. The core is divided into outer and inner core. So here we have this composition of the earth. There is this iron is the most abundant element in the earth, followed by oxygen, silicon. So this is in the whole earth, but only in the crust, topmost layer of the earth. Only in the topmost layer, oxygen is the most abundant. There was a question in the previous year question papers. Okay? That if we talk about the crust, then oxygen is the most abundant element in the crust. Then we have already done these sources of Earth's interior, direct and indirect. So this is direct sources ki hoy? Drilling, rocks, ठीक है, volcanic eruption. Indirect sources ki hoy? What are the indirect sources through which we know about the Earth's interior? What? Seismic waves, meteors, magnetic field, etc. Then we did something called Earth's geomagnetic field. Okay. So just remember that the Earth acts like a magnet. Why? Because of the outer core. The outer core is responsible for some currents, okay, known as convection currents. Convection. So it generates electric currents, which in turn produce magnetic fields. Okay, this effect is known as dynamo effect. Because of this, the Earth acts as it has magnetic fields, and because of Earth or magnetic field or kind of thing, it protects the atmosphere from suns, solar flares, and other exogenic extraterrestrial space objects. Okay. Next we have seismic waves. Come to seismic waves. Seismic waves, what are they? They are waves of energy that travel through Earth's layers. Okay, they are waves of energy. So what are the two types of seismic waves? Body and surface waves. Body and surface waves. Body waves obviously would mean traveling through the Earth's body, no? And surface waves will be traveling through the Earth's surface, on the Earth's surface. So primary body waves are of two types. What are they?
Primary and secondary.
Primary and secondary. Which waves come first? Primary waves. What are they also known along the direction of the wave. Okay. So another important thing of P waves is they travel in all mediums, solids, liquids and gases. Then we have secondary waves, also known as S waves or transverse waves or distortional waves. They cannot pass through liquids or gases, and therefore there is a shadow, okay, when they pass through liquids or gases. It is known as a shadow zone. Then we have surface waves, which are also known as long wave, and they displace rocks and they create destruction. Now let's come to this were the basis. We have finished. So geomorphology, we had the 3 spheres. Then we had, what did we have? Interior structure of the earth. So the chapter is divided into this way, okay? Interior structure of the earth. Then we have rocks and minerals, okay? Now we'll do. So in the interior we have done all these, okay? Body waves, seismic waves. Next we have the rocks. What are the 3 types of rocks?
Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks,
Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks are
primary rocks.
primary rocks. They are formed after the solidification of molten lava. What is the difference between magma and lava?
The coming out of the magma on the earth's surface is called
Lava. Okay, very good. So when the molten material is inside the earth's surface, it is known as magma. When the molten material comes out, the magma comes out and solidifies, it's known as lava. Okay. So these are known as, they are granular crystalline structures. They are known as primary rock. Examples की हाँ igneous rocks are? Give 2 examples of igneous rocks. Granite and basalt. Okay. Now they can be of 2 types of igneous rocks, which is formed inside of the earth, which is intrusive, and which is formed outside of the earth, which is extrusive. Okay. All right. Next. Can you give an example of extrusive igneous rocks? Basalt rocks found in Deccan Traps of India. Okay, this is an example. Okay, now igneous rocks can be also divided into acidic and basic rocks. Okay. Just 2-3 points here, not the whole thing. For example, acidic rocks hole ki hoy, what happens when the rocks are very acidic? Khub damar explosion hoy. That's it. It's very explosive. The volcanoes are very explosive. So what is that is dependent on the silica content. That's it. If the silica content is higher, the rocks are acidic. And low silica content means basic rocks and less acidic. So there are 2 terms of igneous. One we found, igneous rocks. We did it extrusive and intrusive. No? Another type is
acidic
and basic. Okay? Acidic has more silica, basic has less silica. Just remember this. Okay? Therefore, acidic will explosion, basic will flow. Okay? volcanic cones and mountains are made up of acidic rocks, and basic rocks formed of plateaus, shields and lava traps. What is the significance of igneous rocks? That they are the source of metallic ores. They are very rich in mineral resources. Okay. Basic mineral resources like iron, nickel, copper, etc. Then building materials like granite. Then we all know this. The second type of rock is
Sedimentary rock.
sedimentary rocks. Very good. They are formed due to deposition and compaction. So, what is it called as this process?
Lithification.
Which compacts into the sedimentary rocks? Lithification. Okay. So the main thing is layers or beds. Sedimentary rocks. Okay. Can you give two examples?
Limestone.
Limestone and coal. Then we have metamorphic rocks. What is it?
Synthesis.
When rocks undergo physical and chemical transformation. Okay. What are the examples? Example of metamorphic rocks. Here. Nice. Slate, marble, just remember 3, 4, okay? Here it is given that this is the igneous, this is a type of rock, granite for example. It changes because of pressure and forms into gneiss, okay? Then similarly limestone is a sedimentary rock and it under effect of heat it converts into marble, okay? Then there is, let's come to earth movements. Okay, we have already done earth movements. What are the basic types?
Endogenic, genetic and exogenic.
Endogenic and exogenic. Why is it?
Endo is
Interior.
internal.
Internal.
Forces.
Exogenic is
External.
endogenic is internal, exogenic is external. Endogenic has how many? What is it? Slow and sudden. Slow is diastrophic. Sudden is catastrophic. Okay. Then diastrophic movements are of what are they? Vertical or epirogenetic or continental building. Okay. They can be upward or downward. And horizontal movement is orogenic or mountain building. So what is the two forms of orogenic movements?
Compression and
Compression and tension. Compression leads to fall. Tension leads to faulting. Faulting leads to faulting leads to rift valleys and
Constant gravel.
block mountains. This part is known as block mountain or horst, H-O-R-S-T, block mountain, and this is known as a rift valley or graben. Example of rift valley is Great African Rift Valley. Now, next we have sudden movements or catastrophic movements which happen suddenly. What are the two types? Volcanism and earthquakes. Okay. Next we have exogenic. Okay, then we move ahead. 1 second. Okay, let's come to earthquakes, sudden movement. earthquake. What is an earthquake? Vibration of the surface leads to disbalance of the earth's surface. Okay? Release of energy in the form of seismic waves. So the source of the quake is known as focus. Okay, and so suppose this is the earth, there is a point here, there is a zone of weakness, and this point releases energy, okay, and it travels up. So this is the origin of the earthquake. So what will be this point known as? Focus. Okay, what will be this point known as?
Epicenter.
Epicenter. Very good. So a hypocenter point on the surface directly above the focus is called the epicenter. Okay. Earth's major earthquake occurs mainly in belts coinciding with the margins of tectonic plates. Tectonic plates, we can see here, there are about 7 major tectonic plates. What are tectonic plates? They are brittle, hard plates which move above the asthenosphere. Okay, so they have different movements. For example, 2 plates come together, 2 plates move away from each other. These are called divergent boundaries. Okay. Then we have 2 plates which are sliding past each other. Okay, this is called transverse boundaries. For example, so earthquakes, so whenever there is plate movement, there will be earthquakes or volcanoes. So these are sudden movements. Okay, now I'll just show you some major plates. For example, what is this plate? Eurasian plate. What is this plate? Indian plate. Which is this plate? Pacific plate. Which is this one? North American. Which is this one? Which is the lowermost? Antarctic plate. Which is this one? African plate. Okay. Then there are some minor plates also. Arabian, for example. Then there is a Caribbean plate here. Okay. Then there is a Nazca plate here. So this is mainly, these are the areas of earthquake and volcano. Okay. So types of earthquakes, then effects of earthquakes we already know. How are the earthquakes measured? What are the 2 scales? Richter scale and? What does Richter scale measure? The magnitude. Just underline this term. It measures the magnitude. What does Mercalli scale measure? Intensity. Okay. Then we have volcanoes. What is a volcano?
Eruption of magma.
Hot magma try to escape out of the earth's surface. Okay. It includes molten rock, gases. Okay. Alright. Next we have types of volcanoes. What are they? Active, dormant, no recent activity, extinct. In the geological past, no indication. These are the 3 main: active, dormant, extinct. Active is example, just underline this words from Boli. Dormant, Kilimanjaro. And extinct, Chimborazo in Ecuador. We don't have, do we have atlas? No. Okay. Alright. Let's see if there is any question in PSC. Okay, there is a question, can you see? The group of small pieces of rock revolving around sun between orbits of Mars and Jupiter are called
Asteroids.
asteroids. Very good. Okay, can you answer this question? Let's try. Consider the following statements. Asteroids are rocky debris of varying size orbiting the sun. Most of the asteroids are small, but they have diameter as large as 1,000 kilometers. The orbit of asteroids lies between orbits of Jupiter and Saturn. So which is the wrong statement here? Which is the wrong statement here? This is a wrong statement, no? This is not correct. So in which of the options there are option number 3? This is, so therefore this is wrong. There is option 3 here, therefore this is wrong. There is option 3 here, therefore this is wrong. So you see that we don't know that they have they have a diameter of this many kilometers, no? Iman to nahi na jano, but we know one thing, isn't it? That this is wrong. So from this wrong statement, we have identified which is the correct option. Okay. So this is one of the applications of your options. Okay. Let's see if we have some other questions. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer. Okay. Smallest planet of the solar system. Mercury. Okay. Smallest planet. Next. Largest planet of the solar system. Then planet second from the sun. Venus. And then planet nearest to the sun. Mercury. So this is an old question, no? 1998. Till then, Pluto was still considered a planet. Okay, so therefore, this question will be wrong in this time. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, a meteor is a rapidly moving star. Is a meteor a star? No. Okay, a meteor is not a star. What is the second option? A piece of matter which has entered the Earth's atmosphere from outer space. Okay, we can see. A part of a constellation. Is meteor a part of a constellation? What is a constellation? Group of stars. Okay, it resembles a pattern. Okay. A comet without a tail. No. So what is it? Which has entered the Earth's atmosphere from outer space. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Which of the following statements is correct with reference to our solar system? The Earth is the densest of all the planets. Is it correct? Okay. The predominant element in the composition of the Earth is silicon. Is it correct? What is it?
Iron.
Okay. Very good. What is the predominant element in the Earth's crust? Oxygen. Okay. The Sun contains 75% of mass of the solar system. The diameter of the Sun is 190 times that of the Earth. We just know that the Earth is the densest planet of the solar system. know this question?
Uranus.
Jupiter, where?
What is it? What is the name? Jupiter. Is it Jupiter? What are the options?
Option given is nine.
Earth has 365 days. Mars, Venus. Acha. So compared to Mars and Venus and Earth, okay, Jupiter will have the highest. What is the average distance between Sun and Earth?
Option D.
Okay, 150
Million.
Million. kilometers. What is astronomical unit? Mean distance between Sun and Earth. Mean is the average distance. In order of the distances from the Sun, which of the following planets lies between Mars and Uranus?
Jupiter and Saturn.
Jupiter, Saturn.
Between Mars and Uranus. Jupiter and Saturn. Which of the following planets has the largest number of natural satellites?
Saturn.
How many?
82.
Very good. Which of the following stars is nearest to the Earth?
Sun.
Sun.
Yes. Which object is? Okay. These are main questions. Okay, let's see. Which of the following scholars? Okay, we'll skip this. It's very good. Okay, what do you mean by dynamic changes?
Continuous.
Continuous. Okay. Can you try attempt this question? Which of the following electromagnetic radiation, geothermal energy, gravitational force, plate movements, rotation of the Earth, revolution of the Earth? Which of the following are responsible for bringing dynamic changes on the surface of the Earth? Can you try? It will be electromagnetic radiation. Then geothermal energy. What is geothermal energy?
Energy released by energy released when a planet or a star moves.
Geothermal is from inside the
Inside.
earth. Okay, so that comes in the form of hot springs. Okay. Okay. Then we have gravitational force. So basically, all of these have some role to play in the changes of the earth. Okay. So option answers all of the above. Okay. Let's move ahead. So we did volcanism. So here an important term is, just now we did this term, is called hotspot. Okay. And yesterday we did the term, do you remember, it's called Pacific Ring of Fire. So most of the active volcanoes are located at interplate boundaries in and around the Pacific Ocean and Mediterranean Sea and Alpine Himalayan belt. Okay. Just remember this interplate boundaries. Wherever there are plate boundaries, there will be volcanoes and earthquakes. Also occur at hotspots. This is very important term, hotspot. So hotspot is a region within the Earth's mantle from which heat rises through process of convection. What is convection? Yesterday we did convection. Do you remember? What did we do? Conduction, convection, radiation. radiation ki hoy sun's rays comes, there is no medium, okay, then sun's rays come, strike the earth and then it is reflected back. This is an example of radiation. Now hotspot, what happens? Inside the earth there are these currents in the mantle, okay, so they lead to the formation of magma comes out, okay. There are these circular movements of convection currents which circulate the around the interior of the earth, okay. This leads to hotspot activity, okay. So what is an example? Example is given here. Can you see? This is a hot spot. Can you see the magma rises and comes out through this shield volcano in Hawaii, okay? Can you see this plate boundaries? Can you see this ring? So this ring, it will form a ring, okay, here. This is the Pacific Ocean, continuous. This is known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. So all these are plate boundaries, no? So this will have volcanic activity, okay? See, examples of volcanoes are Reunion Islands, Hawaii Islands, can you see? Where is Reunion Island? Indian Ocean, very good. So then we have effects of volcanoes, then volcanic landforms. Okay. Yesterday we did a few, do you remember? No, yesterday before, I think. So again there are two types, extrusive and intrusive. Extrusive, lava pools above the crust, intrusive lava pools under, below. Extrusive landforms ki ki hoy? Conical, dome, fissure, vent, cone is formed, okay? They are mostly violent, explosions, okay? Okay, extrusive. Then we have mid-oceanic ridges. So a very important mid-oceanic ridges is here. In this part. Here the plate is divided and it moves apart away from each other, okay? It's a divergent boundary. Therefore, what happens? Magma erupts and here there is a range. It's called mid-oceanic ridge. Okay, because lava, new earth, new material crust is formed in this plate boundary. Okay, so this is mid-oceanic ridge. Then we have shield volcano. Shield, of course, so it has very gentle slope. Shield volcano has gentle slope. Then we have composite volcano. Yeah, these are just examples. Then we have flood basalt volcano. For example, Deccan Traps in India. And then we have caldera, ash cinder cone, and ash cinder cone volcano. Then we have intrusive landforms, ki ki hoy? Batholith, laccolith, phacolith, dicel. So this whole bed, this, can you see this big huge expanse? Batholith, this is called batholith, okay? When it reaches up, these are called as dikes, these are called as sills. These are these small depressions, phacolith, lapolith, lopolith, okay? So just be familiar with the names because even details of nahe, then there may be some questions like which of the following are related to volcanism. Okay, then we did the sudden movements. Okay, sudden movements are over. Now we do the slow movements. Slow movements are divided into diastrophic. What are they? Epirogenetic and orogenetic. Epirogenetic is continent building. Orogenetic is mountain building. Okay. So it's clear. Okay. Then we have exogenetic processes. Okay. This chart is important. Okay. We have already gone through, but we'll still go through. What is weathering? So what are the four processes? Weathering, mass movement, erosion, deposition. Okay. Weathering is disintegration of rocks in its own place. No movement is involved. What are the three types of weathering?
Physical,
Physical, chemical, biological. So few types of physical weathering are temperature changes, then unloading and expansion, okay, then freezing and thawing. Okay, all these create breaks, cracks in the rocks, and they break the rocks up. Similarly, chemical reaction weathering leads to chemical changes. Kiki hoy, what are the chemical reactions? Solution, carbonation, hydration. Just few examples. Okay. For example, solution ki hoy when some rocks are dissolved in slightly acidic solution, okay, and they dissolve away. Carbonation ki hoy in case of, for example, limestone caves. Weak carbonic acid erodes away the limestone and it creates caves. Similarly, oxidation ki hoy reacts with certain minerals and weakens the rocks. Example, rusting of iron. Okay. Then we have biological weathering. We all know human activities, then burrowing animals. Okay. Next we have mass movement. Mass movement is slow and fast. Slow is creep and solifluction. Okay. Creep is very slow movement of soil. Solifluction happens in the glacial and periglacial areas, okay, because they are saturated with water. Solifluction at ki hoy, there is lot of water and there is very slow movement, okay. Alright, it's a very, it's in glacial and periglacial areas. Rapid mass movement ki hoy, we are all familiar because we live in these areas. Ki hoy? Landslide. Very good. Aru? Then there are other terms. Sapora sapori ke pori jay. Dangor sapora ke pori jay. Landslide ki hoy? Common khoi poribo pare. Dangor sapora ke khoile earth debris slide nuka hobo pare. Then there is mud flow, earth flow, all these terms. Then there is debris avalanche. What is the meaning of avalanche? What found avalanche term to? In the snow covered mountains, no? Icy snow. When snow falls down, no, very rapidly through the slope, down the slope, it is known as an avalanche. Similarly, in our mountains or to debris suddenly falls down, no, it's known as debris avalanche. Then we have erosion. What is erosion? Removal and transportation. So there are basic difference between weathering and erosion is
Weathering happens at the place.
weathering happens at this place. Erosion involves transportation of the material. Okay. I think we can stop here because it may get a little too much. So it's okay. We can continue, and don't worry about too much about terms and things. We will keep on revising. And even if you haven't been in touch with geography, just go through the basic NCRTs. If you have any doubts, you can always come back. Yeah, and if I'm really too fast also, then also let me know, okay? Because although we have to cover, but what's the point of covering if we can't consolidate what we have studied? So the main thing is to revise and revise, keep things in our head as much as possible till the last moment, isn't it? So what is the point of rushing and covering the syllabus just for the sake of it and without remembering anything? So just tell me if it's too fast also, okay? So we are not